Would you crash your own plane just to save a friend? Imagine looking down from the sky and seeing your brother-in-arms trapped in burning wreckage behind enemy lines. The temperature is 20 degrees below zero. The enemy is closing in. Most pilots would radio for help and pray, but Thomas Hudner wasn't most pilots. In the history of naval aviation, no one had ever intentionally crash-landed their fighter to attempt a rescue on the ground. Until this moment. It's December 4th, 1950. The Battle of Chosin Reservoir. A squad of F-4U Corsairs is flying low, hunting Chinese troops to protect the U.S. Marines surrounded below. Among them is Ensign Jesse Brown, the Navy's first ever black aviator, and his wingman, Lieutenant Thomas Hudner. Despite the racial segregation of the time, these two men weren't just colleagues, they were brothers. Suddenly, disaster strikes. A lucky shot from enemy ground fire ruptures a fuel line in Jesse Brown's plane. He's losing power fast. With no runway in sight, Brown is forced to crash land on the side of a snowy, wind-swept mountain deep in enemy territory. The impact is brutal. The plane buckles, snapping in half. When Hudner reaches the wreck, the scene is a nightmare. Jesse Brown is conscious, but his leg is crushed and pinned tight under the twisted fuselage. He is freezing, in shock, and the engine fire is creeping closer to the fuel tanks. Hudner works frantically. He scoops up bare handfuls of snow to pack around the engine, trying to keep the flames away from Jesse. He pulls, he yanks, he tries to pry the metal apart with his bare hands, but the machine is too heavy. The cold is so intense it burns their skin. For 30 minutes they talk. Jesse, weak and in pain, stays calm. Hudner refuses to give up. Finally, a rescue helicopter arrives. The pilot, Lieutenant Charlie Ward, lands and joins the fight. They use an axe to hack at the metal, but the steel of the Corsair won't budge. They are helpless against the weight of the aircraft. The sun is setting. The temperature is dropping further. The helicopter pilot warns Hudner, shouting, "We have to go! The chopper can't fly in the dark, and the enemy is coming!" Hudner tries one last time, pulling until his muscles scream, but Jesse Brown is fading. He looks at his friend, the man who crashed a plane just to sit beside him in hell, and whispers his final words, "Tell Daisy I love her." Jesse falls unconscious. Hudner, with tears freezing on his face, is forced to make the hardest decision of his life. He has to leave his friend behind. From the air, Thomas Hudner circles desperately. He sees smoke rising. He checks for signs of life. Then he sees it. Jesse Brown is waving from the open cockpit. He's alive, but he isn't getting out. The plane is starting to burn, and Brown is trapped. Hudner radios the rescue helicopter, but he knows they are at least 30 minutes away. In that freezing cold, with a fire raging, Jesse won't survive that long. Hudner looks at his gauges, then looks down at his friend. He makes a decision that defies all logic and military protocol. He says, determined, "I'm going in." He drops his flaps, kills his speed, and intentionally belly flops his own perfectly good aircraft onto the rocky, snowy mountain just 100 yards from his dying friend. The impact slams him against the console, injuring his back, but Hudner ignores the pain. He crawls out into the freezing snow and runs toward the smoke. Thomas Hudner returned to base with a broken heart. For his incredible act of valor, he was awarded the Medal of Honor. but he never considered himself a hero. He spent the rest of his life honoring Jesse's memory and taking care of Jesse's widow, Daisy. This wasn't just a story about war. It was a story about love, loyalty, and the bond between two men that transcended race and rank. Thomas Hudner proved that a true wingman never leaves his friend behind, even if he can't bring him home. If this story moved you, please like and subscribe for more untold stories of history's bravest.